I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I grew up with the cartoon, the toys.
I used to have a lot more as a kid, but this is all that remains now.
The comics, the movies, the first one, because that's the only good one, Fight Me. Ow. And also the games. I rented and played them a lot as a kid. So let's talk about the games. The first two, specifically. I only really grew up playing this one and rented it a lot, so this one still has a lot of nostalgia for me. Disclaimer, when I was recording and playing these, I was playing one on the modded Mini Nintendo, and then I was playing the other on the Nintendo Wii U. First off, I still love the music. The intro music alone is still so good to me. The game looks really good still, but where it fails is in its platforming and the challenge level. The first level is fine, but the steamrollers being an instant kill, rookie mistake. Level 2 starts getting into bad platforming. Just this one spot right here. You screw this up and you go back. It's such a precise jump. That's the thing, later on you get a sewer platforming with enemies that will knock you out of the air and instantly get you kicked out of the level, so you have to start all over again. It's so annoying. I've never been able to beat this game, at least not without cheating. Later on you have these tiny gaps you just have to walk over, but God forbid there are moving spikes coming towards you. Why is there a pizza there? Fuck you, game. It is nice to be able to get access to all the turtles, being able to change at any time, but the only two best ones are Leo and Don. Don has higher damage, longer reach, but his attack is slow, and if a turtle dies, you can get them back later on in other levels. And, God, I forgot about the water level. I do love the music, but good God, the laser fields that you can't even see until they go off, and the electric seaweed, you cannot get past this part without either taking a lot of damage or just losing a turtle in the process. Replaying this game was quite aggravating, and really did make me question, why did I like this as a kid? You only get 3 continues, and I could only get to the Technodrome. Even harder enemies who take a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage. I get a game should be challenging, that's okay, but this just really starts to feel unfair, way too fast. Bad platforming, Raph and Mike having limited range on their attacks, bad enemy placement and difficulty. This, unfortunately, is a bit of a bad game, but next is a good one. But let's talk about the arcade original before we talk about the port. I remember my brother told me about this and I lost my mind. We played it at the bowling alley with him and my sister, and oh my god, it was so much fun, and this game is still so good. So again, another disclaimer, I'm playing the arcade off of the 360 version that was available. It still looks and plays so good and sounds great. Except of course for the fact that it's no longer fully playable anymore. Thank you, Konami. But let's talk about the Nintendo port. I originally got this as a Christmas present as a kid. This game is good, but it's not as good as the arcades. Sadly, the color just looks a tad drab. The game is there in its entirety, along with 2 bonus levels. There are obviously some big differences in terms of the limitations of the game, like 2 bosses, like Rocksteady and Bebop. You know, the double boss fight isn't there, but that's fine, along with some dialogue. But otherwise, this is the entire arcade. All 4 turtles are here in fully 2-player mode. I remember beating this game as a kid, and I didn't have to cheat either. Here's the weird thing, after playing for quite a long time with the OG NES controller, my hands really started to cramp up. Also, each turtle has a special attack. By just pressing the jump and attack button at the same time, you do this double damage attack. For some reason, in the arcade, Raph always had this roll slide attack, but oh well. But in this version, for some reason, it just wouldn't work properly unless I hit jump and then attack. Also, weird little note here, I always thought it was weird how in the arcade version on the 360, part of the intro theme song is cut.
Fire! Hang on, April. Fire! Hang on, April.
Maybe because Konami couldn't pay for the rights? Or didn't want to? This game can be fun, but like most beat-em-ups, it does start to feel pretty repetitive, and does get a tad boring. And this version feels a lot more padded out. Levels are longer, more enemies, but it is still the full arcade, with Pizza Hut ads everywhere. Sadly, I wasn't able to beat this for the video. I tried, I was able to get to the final boss. You only get 3 continues. So after all this, I do still have a lot of nostalgia for the original Turtles NES game. It is way too goddamn hard. The arcade game is still, of course, absolutely great and a crap ton of fun. So is the NES port. I really do wish, though, that the arcade was just a lot more available on current systems and consoles. Well, until next time, let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or a subscribe, and support me on Patreon if you enjoy my content. I would greatly appreciate it. See you next time.